more interesting news on the fundraising front.
That's right. We have credit card fintech platform Kiwi, which has raised $13 million in its Series A funding round led by Omidyar Network. Now, this funding, the company says, will help it expand its credit card on UPI offering in India. Joining me now to talk about this and more on the company is Kiwi's co-founder, Mohit Bedi. Mohit, thanks very much for joining us here. Let's start with that $13 million funding coming close on the heels of your last $6 million funding. How are you going to deploy this? Because you have 25,000 credit cards so far. What is the target as far as the next year is concerned? How are you looking to expand your offering?
So good to be back on the same platform. It's been 6 months, you're right. So we've raised these funds, and as you were mentioning clearly, that we've had a product market fit for the product. We did a certain number of cards, and now we're looking at expanding, and obviously, because this is the time to expand our whole business. So we're looking at close to 500,000 or more in the next 12 months. That's the plan right now. And we want to try and leverage and go into deeper markets in India. So tier 2, tier 3 will be our focus, and which is why Omidyar also put their faith in us and invested.
Well, Mohit, I'll come back to that 500,000 number, but just to be clear first, so far Axis Bank is your only partner to offer credit cards. What are the other banks that you're in talks with?
So right now, yes, we've launched with Axis. As I told you, we wanted to do a product market fit. We are in talks with 5, 6, but in the next 6 months, or at least 2 of them get closed out. So all these banks that we are referring to are good, largest banks. And you'll see, you'll hear some news in 3 months.
Well, I ask about the banks because this funding is coming at an interesting time because, just last week you had RBI putting some sort of guardrails on unsecured lending through credit cards as well. What have conversations with banks been like? Because the feedback we've been hearing is this business may get a bit slow in the near term until banks are able to reassess the capital buffers.
So the key word that I mentioned here was large banks. As you know, the unsecured lending, at least in the large banks, has been. I think the guidelines were directed around NBFCs and small institutions who were probably doing small ticket loan and trading the fine line between good and bad customer, probably. And they were trying to leverage and get those customers inside. But whichever banks we are talking to are, as I said, large private sector and public sector banks. And the lending there, including unsecured, has been very, for example, if you see Axis key indicators, as far as unsecured lending is concerned, they've been the best, right, in terms of share of unsecured lending. What will happen in the near future is there will be increase in cost of capital, but that I think is accounted for in the P&L, right?
Yeah. Well, Mohit, you're also a former Axis Bank employee. I guess you've got that straight from there. But Mohit, you said 500,000 customers is what you're hoping to add in the next 6 months. I think the last time we spoke to your other co-founder, they indicated that 1 million customers will be onboarded in the first 18 months of the company. You've crossed about a year. And you also want to be the leading issuer of RuPay credit cards by 2026. Are you on track to do that, those numbers?
So we are on track to do that, which is why, as I said, we need a couple of more large banks to build that ambition. In terms of number of customers and largest RuPay card issuers, we are clearly, that ambition hasn't changed at all. We want to be one of the largest issuers of RuPay card, and thanks to some tremendous support from NPCI, we are on track to do that. And nobody at least with that much confidence, we can say that the credit on UPI ecosystem, as far as acquiring, issuing, acceptance is concerned, we are really the pioneers in that.
That's right. And for our viewers, Kiwi, of course, is a NPCI licensed UPI third-party app. But, before we let you go, Mohit, it's early days, I know. But if you could give us a sense of the revenue potential in the coming year and how it's been thus far, since you started in November 2022.
Yes, so the going has been good. The revenues have started kicking in terms of that much amount of income has started kicking in. So credit card as a business has a J curve, which means you make losses for first 18 to 24 months, and then you start making profitable business after 24 months. I mean, you have a break even and payback that happens during the course. So it's a good longish business that you need to be patient and stay invested in. So we've completed those first 6 months at least of the cycle as far as cards business is concerned. And we are on track to at least break even in 18 to 24 months. And it is a hockey stick there after that. So it is all a function of how much we book, how the business grows. And this round of investment is exactly for that, for helping us grow our business in terms of getting people, technology, getting our growth plans in place. So that's what we are using these funds for.
Okay, you're going to break even in 18 to 24 months. But, in terms of people as well, how large is your team? And, now that you've got this funding on top of your previous one, are you looking to significantly expand your team?
So not that much. We are very prudent. Right now, you won't believe it, but we have close to 35 to 40 people only on board. Out of that, 70% of our team is engineers, and they have built the technology. So right now, obviously, now that we've got those funds, we'll try and do some hiring on the product. Senior management, good people hiring on the product and partnership side. So that's the plan right now. But we've just got 35 to 40 people. And more, as I said, 70% of them are engineering people who are actually day on building the whole product for us.
I see, Mohit. Thanks very much for taking us through the fine print of, what the company is doing, where it's at, and how you plan to utilize that $13 million that you raised from your investors. Mohit, thanks very much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, thank you.
And with that, it is a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. More news and updates coming up on the other side. Stay tuned.